this will be better anyway. The grocery store chain that we sell to is a third generation grocery store. They have 29 stores, and they have 29 stores. They have 16 Price Chopper, which is a price-driven format, and 13 what they call hen house markets, which is a more of an upscale format. So we cover the diversity. But one thing that's unique about this is that they are privately owned. They are third generation. They started out their company by selling to purchasing products from farmers markets and selling them to their consumers, Sidney and Molly Ball. And so they had the history behind them, and they are all also located in Kansas City. Next, yes. From the beginning in 1994 of selling greenhouse tomatoes to hen-house markets, we've grown to over 100 family farms. And I think we were trying to count them up today, and we're right around 125 to 130. The family farms range from a few acres. We have some backyard farmers to several hundred acres, such as cattle. Most of our smaller farms will raise vegetables. They'll do some like small fruits. Also, we have a honey farm that is very diverse. But I guess what I'm trying to say, they're diverse. Diverse in people, diverse in size. We're inclusive. We're not exclusive. If you have a product, we're going to help you find a way to sell that product. The thread that binds us together is the love of farming and the belief that we are all doing the right thing for this generation and for generations to come. So K-State did it real scientifically. They all took us to one of these facilitators because we were all kind of, we're all wanting to do our own thing and our own label and our own stuff. And so they brought us all in. Vincent Bourrideau brought us into a room. And what we found interesting throughout the day is that we did have a common thread, and that was a common goal that we all had. So that's what's held us together. We defined a family farm because that's what everyone knows. We define a family farm as where the family members are actively engaged in the day-to-day hands-on labor. Of course, they're going to have, in many cases, seasonal help that is allowed for planting and harvesting. But the people actually have to be involved in day-to-day labor activities to be a part of our group. Next. 95% of our farms are located in Kansas and Missouri, kind of in the core middle part. We have one located in Iowa, which is a beef farm, and our new milk producer is in Firth, Nebraska, which is right there on the border. Additionally, the majority of these farms are within 200-mile radius. However, what we like to do is to make sure that a 7-hour drive ensures that the product can be in the store from harvest to in the store in 24 hours. This will give you kind of of our organizational structure of the 100 and some odd family farms that make up the group. Were kind of broke down into three groups at first. We had 70 family farms under Good Natured, and then we had 25 that were within the vegetable group, which were basically in Bates County in Missouri. And then we had 5 or 10 family farms that were mostly like processors, like farm-to-market bread. But this year, the produce, we didn't have, all the produce was not under Good Natured Family Farms, but this year they came to us the third time, and we finally found a way to bring us all under Good Natured Family Farms brand. So kind of what you'll find is that people have to learn to trust you. They have to, everybody wants their own thing, but one thing we all need to do is to sell product, and I don't really care what it is. It could be called Hen House Family of Farms. I don't care. I'm not married to a brand. I just need to make sure we have the product, and we need to develop some way for that consumer to trust that product. Next. These are some of the local foods from the 100-plus family farms. A Good Natured Family Farms brand product is in every department except bakery, which has local farm-to-market bread. So in every single produce, meat, dairy, bakery, and grocery, there's going to be our brand and pictures of the farmers in that department. And people say, why is that important? Well, the outside, the perimeters of the supermarket's what holds the walls that hold the supermarket up. That's where you want to be. So we started around, you push your cart into vegetables, and then you go into meat, and then you go into dairy. You make the circle. Then you start going down the aisles, which is what we're doing now. But it's very important to be on the perimeter. That's where your fresh product is. It is also, I think, that being in those categories allows you to have a year-round supply. So just when produce is gone, you still have your meat and your cheese and your honey and those things to keep your thought in the consumer's mind. So most importantly, the diversity of these products, the diversity of these farms, from fruits and vegetables in the summer to meat and cheeses and holiday items like eggnog, Good Natured Family Farms provides the customer with local foods 12 months of the year. Okay, trying to explain how all this goes together. So what I'd like to do, I would like to share with you our journey of putting these pieces of puzzle together. There are 7 pieces, and you're going to have to click between each one of these. We have the farmers. We have the processors, the distribution system, the regulations you have to meet, the markets you need, the customers you need, and your support organizations. There are 7 pieces, and I don't care whether you're doing beef, I don't care if you're selling at a farmer's market, in the back of your pickup. If you break it down, each one of these you will have to have somehow go through in order to get your product from your farm into the consumer's mouth. Next. Now what I'd like to do, instead of going through each single product, I would just like to focus on one product and take you through the system. That way you can we can get it simplified so you can grasp it. It will be the same for any product, except for example vegetables. You could package those on your farm, and eggs, but pretty much these are the 7 things you need. So let's start with the farmers. We started out selling 1 head of beef to 1 hen house market store. When we could no longer meet the demand, and we worked out all of the issues, which took us a year to do, and basically just learning what box beef is, and for them to learn how we had to sell the whole cow. Okay, we've gone to 27. We have 27 family farms that make up an all-natural beef co-op, and that co-op is responsible, which our family is a member. That co-op is responsible for pricing, uniform delivery, and marketing agreement. We are, I think, one of the only remaining co-ops that have made it in Kansas and still in existence. But I think that says something about the dedication of the group that we have. And we've processed probably about between 30 to 40 head of beef a week. So it is quite an undertaking as we grow to be able to continue getting that fresh product in. This is our label. What we do, we talked about the sky and the green, and now we've gone into this water. And the reason our new label has the water is we're going to build everything around watersheds. And we're going to try to educate the consumer about watersheds and why farming is important. We have no subtherapeutic antibiotics, no growth hormones, vegetarian fed, locally processed by hand. Our meat is dry aged, and also it is fed out on the family farms, not in confined feed out operations. Next, processing. So it just so happened there was a small processing plant that was state inspected about 15 miles from our farm. A young man had just purchased it and was struggling, so we went in partnership and we purchased the plant to process the meat. We took it from state inspected to federally inspected because we had stores on both Kansas and Missouri. What we found is that we've provided some jobs in the community. We feel like we have a very good, and we've held the locker plant together. And within our area, there's 5 locker plants now that are still open.